Well, I suppose it was only a matter of time before I resorted to making a spicy video, but if you were looking for something other than a cornucopia of savory St. Louis seasoning, it might disappoint. Instead of a respectable essay about Soulard Market and the long flourished, or perhaps dearly flourished, history it now has nearing a quarter of a millennium, this video only really offers a few aesthetic shots from a low-key afternoon, one or two relevant pieces of timely information, and I can only imagine what the explanation is behind why it was deemed necessary to post signs like this one. However, one thing this film does have is a special little highlight of one of Soulard Market's oldest and most popular destinations within it, the century-plus-old Soulard Spice Shop. But not before a little context and a look around this venerable vestige of vintage that surely would have been a required highlight had Anthony Bourdain ever made an episode featuring St. Louis for any of his numerous food travel shows. Anyone who's familiar with those can surely imagine this is exactly the sort of local food scene that pushed his chef button. Notice the massive shiny new HVAC system they just installed at great expense, I'm sure, and without comparing to what it looked like before, I find it both beautiful and ugly at the same time, though I imagine the payoff is well worth a little appropriate industrial design. The Soulard Farmers Market is really only open 4 days a week, with Saturday as the only one with 100% vendor participation. Friday is the second biggest day of the week when only about 35% of vendors operate in this calmer, more laid-back environment that has its own appeal, especially for me who likes to film places when there are less people around. This is one of the 4 open-air aisle arms that extend from the core building and will be full of vendors and shoppers tomorrow, but today is only one of 2 that are open, with one of them receiving some of the continuous maintenance and repairs Soulard Market needs in preparation for tomorrow. While my primary mission was to document the nearly forgotten secret Soulard gymnasium tucked up in the rafters, I was also granted a special opportunity to film the Soulard Spice Shop from the inside in a quiet moment that is impossible to catch on a Saturday. The 111-year-old spice trader operates more like a stall than a shop, ever since the retail changes mandated by the pandemic of 2020, so a chance to get a nice peaceful up-close survey of the local wares they offer from behind the counter is an exclusive treat indeed. Even when the internal sales counters and cases were within reach of customer claws back in the day, the queue would spill out into the hallway that today has to accommodate all of the continually consistent clientele. Attached is an associated coffee and tea section, also with a closed sales floor, which I find slightly odd, inconvenient, and disappointing personally. But my guess is this is shown to work better for them and not enough reason to not patronize their locally important and historic business. Thanks to the owner and staff for allowing me to shoot this footage of their unique historical enterprise, and thank you for watching.